everyone, Day here, and welcome back to another episode of my The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Let's Play. So I have finally put it on the title screen, and we can see that it has been updated as per usual, it seems, with this particular game. And I like it. It's the road in which we are on for the investigation in Great Britain, or Britain? I really don't know the difference. I've been calling it London too at certain points. I'm like watching my content again and I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait for someone to mention that. But in the meantime, we're gonna hop back into it. I did save the game, but I want to say that this should take me, okay, yes, it takes me back to where I need to be. So our conversations have ended with him. I'm actually not sure what the next step in the investigation will be. Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and to cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? Well, she does love her stories and stuff and reading about this area. It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows. Why would she do that? But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. No, no, Susato, no. No, I wasn't serious. We have some... There is one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. I feel like you still could be arrested. I'm sorry if it's a little too bright behind me. It's not one of those curtains that keep out the lighting. It's a little bright. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Yeah, he was for one too many times in my opinion. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. I want to say it's just like the defendant, it's not Seiki. I don't know, it's something like that. I can't think of his name. Soseki? Yes, Soseki. It just popped into my mind. So that's investigated. There's a snowman here, but I highly doubt it's part of the investigation. So let's carry on. A new location has been added. Okay. Oh, the Shom's suite. I didn't think we were going to animate cutscene. Nice touch.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Showers.
Sorry, I have to turn off the microphone so it's not catching what they're saying, and then it sounds doubled. I've noticed that happens, so I have to mute the microphone. 19th February, 12:53 p.m., Shom Suite. It looks super cluttered. It almost reminds me of the Write Anything agency. It's so much going on here. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. It's rare to see Susato's back. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? It's even better than she imagined. Susato-san? Yep. Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me. She's obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? So it's little Watson. Hello. Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello? Don't I recognize you? Yeah. Wait. Aren't you... Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bohemia? King William Gottsreck Sigmund von Ormstein, of course. There is no way. I could barely pronounce other certain words. There's no way I was saying this guy's name. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you. I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. As if they had to draw out this part. Ah, there you are. And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. Well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. That's a way to introduce yourself without actually giving your name. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGildett's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh, yes. It was challenging. Oh, so they are in London. I'm fine. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. She seems to know a lot. She's very well informed. More so than Susato usually tends to be. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley! What a nickname. Hurley. Mr. Sholmes to you, surely. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps, more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. Well, I just assume based off of information I already gained in other means. I haven't introduced myself, have I? I have no idea what her first name is, though. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris. Oh, Wilson. Oh, wait, yeah. They changed their names in this game. I live here together with Hurley. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. I like how she nodded at almost the right time. Ah! What's the matter? No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? That still doesn't feel right. It feels worse than Sholmes for some reason. What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. But recently dubbed lawyer over here in Britain. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Runo? Susie, I guess, but Runo? Susie. And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Okay. Converse, Iris. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Miss Leshrod in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Leshrod. Oh, Jeannie? Jenny? Oh, Jenny? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It was very naughty of her to pitch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? This just raises more questions. Is Gina a acquaintance of Iris more so than she was McGilded? I don't know. Exactly, so I followed her, you say, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Jenny here back after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, you're a technician? Helly, of course, silly. It never dawned on me that he would be the technician, like at all. And it's crazy because he's always geared up. It makes so much sense. Hurley. Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes. We live here together or something like that. I had no idea the great detective has such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. Yeah, I figure she's more a daughter of Wilson. The guy that we've seen in Japan, maybe? What? They're like, I don't know, if it's following the story, they have to be like partners. You know, just general partners. I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Stranger things have happened. Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you've found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates? I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Please don't prod. It would be rude at this point. Wilson. And there's always a young sidekick in these things, so it's not shocking at all. Oh yes, there's something I must ask of you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I am a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and... Oh, you have a copy of Rust magazine! Yes, I read every issue. is delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting! My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Hallie is always solving such amazing cases, you see. He tells me all about them. They're really all quite fascinating. So you aren't actually wait. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author. Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure the Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. It's a story after all. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course, I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it a more thrilling, don't you think? Don't you? Or I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rants magazine all written by me? Yes, I'm a wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. Saddle-san's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true, too. I am a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old. Well, that's quite incredible. If maybe not credible. But, Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen all the way apart. Welcome to the world of Ace Attorney Susato. Buckle your seatbelts. Get ready for a very wild ride. About before. Yes. What's in your mind, Runo? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? 3 + 6, come on. We already know some details from Soseki. Doggone Sholmes is the reason he's in prison. Sholmes followed him, so therefore it stands to reason that she most likely got it from Sholmes, correct? Or maybe I'm the one that's completely off my rocker. Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Oh, she has goggles too. Iris Wilson is proud to present a logical and reasoning spectacular. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runo. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. Fair. But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? I'm sorry, but the production value of this game definitely is higher than any other Ace Attorney game. I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So it's reasonably She's probably the smarter of the two, as far as with observation and stuff. So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. Is Dame Von Zeke's really that scary? The Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a rare ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. Has that always been there? Oh, I'm going to have to go back. Because otherwise I am the one very unobservant. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Okay. I guess it's gonna... Order of operations. I'm glad to just rewatch this particular episode. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you say? I didn't realize. I didn't realize that it was there. And a rare stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. They look so shocked. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. What? That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hallie solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Soseki. Mr. Natsume. Now Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. I like that he still has it. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hallie caught. That does not necessarily correlate. It could very well have been someone else that accepted his case. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. However, I guess you're just saying that, based off that reasoning. So, okay, that's fair. You both came here to ask Hallie about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says that the man's trial would be tomorrow. Hallie is always stabbing his notes with a knife. He is silly. And that's all there really was to it. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. For 10 years old, you're definitely incredible. I barely remember what I was up to at 10 years old, but it wasn't solving cases. Or deducting. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly did a great deduction. You even managed to certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Case of the Japanese man. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man. You were saying... Yes. Hallie had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. I didn't think the police were... Maybe it's just the inspector. I wouldn't think that they would just reel him into the case, Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. So there were witnesses. A short, shifty-looking... Well, yeah, they did say that. Stooped man. Mr. Natsume. Oh, Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. I keep getting confused as to who's speaking for a second. Sasaki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. I believe the inspector mentioned that.
Hihi used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police. And what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear.
Who admitted to committing the crime, by the way. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did.
He's a great detective. Come on, Susato. You know that's not always reasonably true. Still, that means that the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hihi says that London is rife for crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's right, they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court.
Basically, an excuse to make the game progress faster. Got it.
Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on a suspicious person.
That's not good. That's terrible. It is.
I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is. But in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san. Yeah, he'll be behind bars at any rate. So are you going to accept his case? Yes, you are. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Well, I expect Hihi is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Nuts. Oh, May. Hihi said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there.
Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Goody. In that case, give Greg see this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this? Candy? Money? An envelope?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Iris's postcard has been entered into the court record. A card for Inspector Gregson with a message on the back from Iris. It reads, Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem.
Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Bund. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, let's back to the scene of the crime.
Alright. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all, we headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. A 5-shilling, I believe they called it. To be continued. Well, we're going to play a little longer. It's only been 28 minutes. And I feel like I don't give you guys content to the right degree. So yeah, we're definitely going to play for a little while longer. I'm going to save it at number 1. Okay. Let's get back to business to defeat the Huns. 19th February, 2:38 p.m., Briar Road. It looks as though the police are still here carrying on with their investigation. As I would hope. I don't want any mistakes this time. Take your photographic prints. We do not need an omnibus scenario.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. I mean, Granted, it did help us get our defendant off, but it's like I find him to be 100% guilty. I'm pretty sure he has to be at this point with how everything transpired. He definitely was. So it kind of was like it went the way it didn't go the way it needed to go. So I want people to get off that are truly innocent. Darn it. Not people that deserve to be behind bars. Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. I believe I read that already, but yeah. Hi there, Gregson. Oh yeah. Present. This is Old Ace Attorney edition stuff right here. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment?
I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
That's not fair. We are literally investigating.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? From me? From her ladyship?
Her ladyship? This is up there with darn it, from his name is not Miles Edgeworth. It was what is his name? Why can't I think of it? The guy that wears red. I am slipping. Not Phoenix. Apollo Justice. From the Apollo Justice game. I can't believe that. That was the first Ace Attorney game I ever played. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney was my first ever game. I played that in like 2007, 2008-ish or something. But anyways, long story short, because I don't want to run out of time for progressing the story. This is up there with the magician father in the yellow coat when he was like, "Your Lord Daddy." And Phoenix was like, "Lord Daddy." I feel like that's a little extreme. That really... Wait, no. Apollo was like, "Your Lord Daddy." And he was like, that's extreme. Because I want to say that was referring to Phoenix. Him saying that in that way.
Give that here at once.
Oh, no, I don't think it was referring to Phoenix. I think it was referring to Trudy's... It's not... Trucy? I think her name is Trucy. Trucy's real father. Who I cannot think of his name either. It's been a while since I played that game.
Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's from me.
But I can't believe I forgot Apollo's name. I'm so sorry, Apollo. I love you. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Sorry, that was kind of splintered. What was that coin exactly? A shilling?
It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's an appearance fee. That's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right. For the adventures of Hillock Shrooms. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still.
I am sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you.
Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then,
Sorry?
Tell the gentleman in block whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd be very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Oh, the little North Roading, mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a Rordo hovel. It's just over there, look.
Oh, this is the scene from the title screen.
On the first floor of that house in the corner where that wreck of a bicycle's propped up.
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John
Garadib? Can't really read that in orange like that or whatever color.
Right, Rel. If you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes and squishy chips.
Because he's smashing those chips. Don't worry, Inspector. We will.
Goodbye for now then. And long live her ladyship.
Okay, you're enduring way too much. Like, I like Iris so far, but jeez, her ladyship.
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely.
Alright, move, I want to say. A new location has been added. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Let's check this out. We're getting a lot done in this episode. I love it. We have been all over the place. 19th February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Nothing has overstayed its welcome. She almost looks like the Jetsons maid, Rosie. Rosie was the first thing that popped into my mind. I have no idea what kind of voice to give this lady.
May I help you?
Yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Giradeb?
Indeed it would be, sir. And who may I say is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
It just was so unexpected. I had to copy it.
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Giradeb. Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real-life English maid. Okay, that's what we're focused on. I thought he was going to say how she was expressing stuff after we mentioned Soseki.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler, and experience will be complete.
We were probably going to run into a butler either at some point in this game or in the next game, guaranteed. Well, I'm not sure if I go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Giradeb will see you now. This way. Is his hair shaped like a moon? I love him already. Unless he did it. Because, I mean, if it wasn't Soseki, and I highly doubt we're going to have another case where we feel like the defendant did the deed, it has to be someone else. So let's see who else we meet along the way.
Good day to you, John Giradeb at your service.
Okay, that was a little too rough.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Myron, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the warrants to the up-and-comings.
So he's a retired soldier.
It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine.
Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. It's only 2 floors, Ryunosuke. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh, do you think so? 2 flights of stairs? Come on, Ryunosuke, get it together.
Well, Mr. Giradeb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a photo roll, really. What lot to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall.
It is a little lopsided, I must admit.
Why don't you fetch it, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Joan, fetch the oath! Dash it all, woman! Be careful!
Oh, dear it me! I do beg your pardon, sir.
Huh, you jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
I should be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now.
You totally forgot about showing us the medal, sir. Yes, I see.
No, then I'll hear you want to know about the chop. Lodgings downstairs, does that work?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you can answer some questions for us.
Only 2 please, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the pace here in Blighty.
He's using his pipe as a spoon!
We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were.
Oh, is it? I'm very new to this lawyery business.
Even has some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. One of the best of the best.
Could have been. Didn't catch the chop's name. Not really my cup of tea for all that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of Ron's magazine here, so...
I know. Please don't bust me out.
So you're a fanboy too, you lying scum.
Anyway, the chop's investigating the fire in his room as we speak.
So he's in Soseki-san's room. I guess so.
It's a bally nuisance, is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling.
About Mr. Natsume.
About Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Garadab. Please do tell us.
Oh yes, the Japanese chop. Only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week? I thought he had been here longer for some reason. So he moved in very recently then.
I have 2 lodges most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, so you see there'd been... That's it all, Joan. Do be careful.
So it's the person on the first floor. I caught that, Joan. Someone did it from the first floor, didn't they? We gotta find that person.
Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Now she sounds like the dude from the witness stand.
If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him.
Funny how I gave her a cheek animation and she's doing it. Because I think I did this earlier.
Oh, why?
He seemed to have a most nervous disposition. I was shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written all across...
Just because someone acts shady doesn't mean they're shady, sorry.
Written all across his soaked sweat.
Wait, sweat-soaked?
Brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward.
You are the maid, darn it. You're not supposed to be saying anything like this at all.
And I'm really wrong about anything.
We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure. What do you mean? If they want her as a witness, she dang well going to be a witness. We have no control over that.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the men at all?
I don't know about this maid.
Yes. Oh, yes, indeed, there was.
Is she protecting the person on the first floor? That's my guess at this point. She burned him when he was getting ready to say someone was on the first floor.
Yes. Oh, yes, indeed, there was.
And she's dying to tell us. Anything to make him seem more suspicious, I'm sure. Have you noticed anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
Oh my word, yes. The man was shadier than an orchid.
Could you elaborate? That was not Susano's voice.
Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read.
Then you do not want to look at my Kindle library. I have, like, oh, I don't even know. I might have over 500 books at the very least. And yeah, it's probably enough that I won't read them all.
I had never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day, comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
If that's the case, why do you know he's still up? Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. Who's on the first floor? But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. That's his business. I'm a night owl, so dang it, if I'm staying up to 2 in the morning, does that mean I'm suspicious too? Rather.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
What, pray?
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine?
Oh,
I'd understood that neither of the lodgers lived on this floor of the house. Is that correct?
That's right, yes. They're both below us. On the first floor and street level.
see, there's another person.
Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers?
What goes on up here?
The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example? Even the times they go to bed?
Susato getting to the heart of the matter. Don't burn. Arrgh!
Good grief, Joan, be more careful, woman.
Oh my goodness. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Something doesn't add up here. She's a nosy maid, I'll tell you that much. The incident from 2 days ago, please. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time?
The window.
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garrideb household, so I'm afraid I don't remember saying anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. With the fog as well, I should think. It would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. How did you know it was foggy?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
I gotta pay attention to what they're saying.
Such as...
Anything at all? Even if it seems unrelated?
Well...
Yes. Was there something then?
Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but at around that time...
Dang it, I knew she was gonna burn him!
For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing.
Oh dear me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. She is holding back. She is stopping him from responding to what we're saying. I don't like this maid. We need freaking information, dang it. This is our opportunity too. To get a heads up over the last trial that we had. We can actually gain and gather some information.
Do be more careful, woman.
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Narrow Hollow? I know I butcher words left and right, but freaking goodness, Narrow Hollow. Oh, yes. I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at all that hour. Nothing at all. Why did you burn him? Why did you stop him from speaking? Oh, really? Mr. Garrideb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been...
Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... John Dashidor, what is the matter with you, woman?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Yes, quite. I don't trust either of you two.
Well, I don't trust her more. He was actually trying to be forthcoming with us. But either way, they both know something. They both know the same something, it seems.
Nothing happened. We sat down to a quite uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Garrideb. What is the matter with these two? What is the matter with her? Like, he wasn't really rubbing me wrong. He was actually trying to give us information. Her, on the other hand, His head shape bothers me though. The fact that it's shaped like a moon.
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
I wish I knew. Mr. Natsume's room. Okay, let's just investigate. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on?
Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Shums is investigating there, even as we speak?
Yes, told me not his name, had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Shums' service.
I highly doubt it. Based off of what Natsume has told us, Soseki wants nothing to do with Shums. That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean?
Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs.
Who knows if we'll find anything that can help us with the case, but we have to try. I agree. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on. So shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Shums again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Alright, we got all the information we were going to gather from these two lovely individuals. And I feel like this has been bothering me ever since I was talking to him, but I can't click on it apparently. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. This looks so interesting. I can't tell what that is. What's this?
Look at that enormous screen. Must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could it be behind it, I wonder?
I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek.
Maybe that's not Miss Usato. I think the maid is going to hit us off with a cup of tea. It's probably more. But okay, we can't gather any more information there. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate your support and keeping up with this series with me. I know sometimes the episodes get a little lengthy. Like, this is 52 minutes and going and counting. So thank you so much for sticking it out, making it to the end if you do, and for watching. I can't tell you how much I have been enjoying this series. It's really fun. I can't believe I went so long without actually continuing it for, what, 7 months was it or something like that? Jeez. But anyways, I'm here now. I'm doing this. As I was explaining to one of my commenters, I do plan to potentially do a little tiny, I'm not really sure what to call it. Maybe like a preview of a sort. I'll probably play a game for about roughly an hour tops. And I might just do maybe like 3 different games, show like the beginning of them. I don't know if I really want to do that. Well, maybe it'll be like an impressions video, because it's kind of like I want to do a different game alongside this one. But I'm just not sure what. I do kind of want it to be a little bit different. I know I do a lot of visual novel type things, but I don't want my voice to die. And there are plenty of other games I could play too. Like, I'm not very strong at playing like Dark Souls or Elden Ring and stuff like that, but I probably wouldn't mind dabbling down that rabbit hole and like playing games like that. Like, okay, so one game I'm thinking about restarting and playing via my Switch is Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. So I'm saying that now, and you guys can let me know if you have any interest in me playing either one of those games. I did play them originally, but I had to take them down because the quality was completely, absolutely just tremendously trash. So if you are interested in seeing me play something different, just let me know. And either way, I'm probably gonna at least do pick something and just play it. And see what happens from there. But yeah, anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. As I've already previously said, I'm just repeating my words. But anyways, I hope you all have a great and wonderful day. Until next time, this has been Day, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.